Internet friends, MagicBrad, SynergyCafe. Do you have your beverage of choice? I got my duck today. Well, this is a loon because I'm talking to someone from Minnesota. Shawna,
Ooh, yes, hello.
hello. You are in Minnesota. I'm originally from Minnesota. Oh, for cripe's sakes. I'm even part Canadian, I think.
Oh
'Cause,
yeah.
oh, for sure.
Oh,
You
for sure,
betcha,
yeah.
all that stuff. You're
Oofda.
not originally from Minnesota, though, are you?
I'm not picking up the vernacular and I'm trying to blend in so they don't oust me. So, yes.
They won't oust you. They'll give you a casserole.
Yeah, they will. Some hot dish.
Some lefse. I don't know how we got into all that stuff with that Fargo movie because Fargo's not even in Minnesota.
No, it's not,
Isn't that
but
weird?
oh well. It
Anyway, so
works.
your name is Shauna and your last name is,
Suko.
and you are a speaker in the. First off, are you married? You got kids? What's your
I'm
deal?
I'm married. I am married to somebody who's a corporate attorney by day and an Elvis impersonator on the weekends.
Does he know
So yeah, I know.
Todd?
I don't know. He's Hawkeye Elvis, so he does it for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Okay, very cool. I used to produce the event expo and I had Elvis impersonators walking around the floors and stuff. So
Oh, that's cool. So,
pleasure
and
enough.
I've got two kids, very Minnesotan, born and raised here. So, yeah, life's good.
Very cool. So what is it that you do? You're a speaker in the events industry, the meetings industry?
I'm actually that's how I got my start. I'm a professional speaker. I was a meeting planner for over 20 years, which kind of launched me into uh, professional speaking within the industry. And now I'm moving out more into the big scary world as a speaker, teaching salespeople how customers think.
See, that's a very interesting thing, especially with these internet days, because you really do have to get in the mind of the person when you're thinking about keywords and stuff. Like, what would a meeting planner use for a keyword? What are they going to be thinking? I have no idea because
Yeah.
I'm in the supplier end. How do I know what the planner's thinking? So that's a pretty interesting job you got there. That is a big world.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. You got it. You really have to get into the heads of the people, of the customers you're trying to reach, but customers making it harder than ever because we've become so cynical and distrustful of marketing in general. So it's a really interesting time to be in sales, in my opinion.
See, that's good that you were in that business because you can kind of get the read from that point of view. My friend Gailey Evans used to be Gailey Evans, and it was Gailey Woods, but she was on the planner end and the supplier end and the independent planner end, which
Hmm.
is three different areas, and you got to know all those ropes because it's
Exactly.
weird. And nowadays we've got that thing called the internet, which has turned the whole idea of broadcasting upside down into narrowcasting. How do you focus on that niche? Because, like I was saying, 7 billion people on the planet. How do you find the ones you want?
Yeah, and well, as consumers, we all expect a hyper personalized experience. So, how do you do that? It's really a challenging time, but it's a fun time to try to figure it all out.
So when you
As
say
you and I,
hyper personalized, you mean like human,
but yeah, we don't
or
want to be sold to as the masses anymore. We, it's kind of interesting. Amazon figured that out where they have their methods of, if I look one time last Tuesday for a pair of red shoes, then every time I'm on different websites from here to eternity, I see ads for red shoes. It's kind of weird, but I think we're getting past the part that it's weird and into the part where that's cool because it's hyper personalized. It's advertising that's just for me, which is kind of cool.
exactly. I There's the mobile phone thing and the digital billboard, the physical digital billboard, and I saw one downtown that actually changed when, say, there's a convention, say the Women's Expo is going on. Of course,
Yeah,
the people downtown with their phones is going to be primarily female. So the digital
right.
billboard would have female type ads. Now, when it's
Because
the boat
it
show or something, it's men, and the digital billboard would have boots and dogs and hunting,
isn't that interesting?
because the
Yeah.
billboard can change.
Yeah, it's becoming more relevant to the end user, which is good for both sides, I think.
So that's
Person,
what you speak and train on now, and within the events industry primarily,
nope,
or
not anymore. Of course, that'll always be my home. But what I realized a couple of years ago is my experience as a customer is the same across pretty much any industry, business to business. And the tools and tips that I'm teaching to salespeople relate to anybody who's in sales these days. They all have the same challenges and the same frustrations if it's business to business. So it's
Totally.
not about, because most of their prospects these days don't answer the phone anymore. If you're cold calling, they don't respond to massive email blasts anymore. They're less likely to come to group meetings, association meetings, that sort of thing. So how do you reach them nowadays when all the traditional methods have kind of been ripped from under you, and they're never coming back? I mean, we're not going to suddenly one day start picking up the phone. Not going to happen.
Or well, direct mail still kind of works.
It works again. Interestingly, it went away for a while because it was really it was not nice to not be green, and everybody kind of judged people who were doing mailers, so they went away for a little bit. My volume of mail decreased a lot, and now it's coming back, but I feel like it's a lot smarter. Like
It
the
is,
average
especially
that I go,
postcards. When I did the expos, we did a lot of postcards because you
yeah,
don't have to stuff them, you don't have to open them. It's easy, and
right.
plus multiple people get to see the postcard because the postman gets to see it, the person that shoved it through the machine gets to see it, the person that's on the desk and looks at the receptionist's desk gets to see it. Postcards are great.
Yeah. Yeah, postcards are great. I also am a big proponent of lumpy mail. If you think about it, nobody throws away lumpy mail.
Yeah, there's
Everybody
a pen
opens
in
it
there, and
out
I
of
want to see it.
curiosity. Throw a mint in there, throw a pen. It doesn't have to be expensive, but make it so that nobody's going to throw that away because their curiosity is just gonna kill the
Yep.
cat. So they
I
have to
used
open
to
it.
send wooden postcards. If
Really?
it's under an ounce, you use a piece of thin paneling. You can mail wood.
Oh, that's cool. It's amazing what you can mail. I've had some strange things mailed to
Yeah.
me by a friend of mine who was into mail art.
Yep. I
She'd
had a
send me all kinds
magician
of.
buddy that used to use jumbo cards, and he would use the card as the postcard.
Ah, yeah. I mean, you just have to be different. I mean, all of those people are just tapping into what the rest of marketers are learning is that you have to differentiate yourself. You can't be doing what everybody else is doing anymore.
So I like to keep these kind of tight. We're only at 7 minutes. We got another six or so, but let's talk more about the internet because I think that's people's biggest challenge because it has changed so much. Where, like I was saying, there's so many people out there, and like say if it is a B2B thing, how do you know that the person that you're doing your digital advertising to is a event planner or a professional and not just some kid? There's ways of figuring that out via the internet, but a lot of people don't know. How do you know?
A lot of algorithms. Well, I think they have to hire somebody like.
Well,
Is that a safe assumption?
part of what I was sharing earlier before we started was the concept of keywords and hashtags when we do videos like this, using relevant words that people are going to use. Like if someone is a speaker, a planner might be using the word keynote because that's what they're looking for. So if you use
Yep.
that word in the context, so that's the kind of advertising that we do is sort of run of network and then use contextual advertising so the words are proper and then you get into the hashtagging and Twitter and all. That's how we kind of reconnected with Twitter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah. So are you doing like Facebook advertising as well? Because that's really fascinating to me these days.
Kind of, but the challenge with a lot of this stuff is the wackos that are on there, sorting out the people that are just not even prospects, but they're
Right.
there and they end up getting into your database and contaminating it kind of. In fact, I get a lot of spam in my stuff now because people have got in there and they have like programs that are autoresponder stuff and you just end up getting more. And if you
So
unsubscribe, you
the
really get more. So,
fisherman becomes the fish.
yes, very much so. So,
Oh, I hadn't heard that before. That's interesting. I just like that they have smarter and smarter algorithms on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook to kind of show us what's relevant. But yeah, obviously, some people outsmart the system or fall cracks or jump in through the cracks where they don't belong.
I do a
Yeah.
lot of testing on Facebook because you can do an ad for like $5 or $20.
Yeah.
And I found one where it was like 90% of the people that responded were female and 95 of them responded via phone, not
Ah.
iPad or anything. They used their mobile device or
Yeah,
not.
mobile's going to really change things. I just read that 60% of email is now read on mobile. And so it really changes. email advertising as well, which
It is, and
a lot of people struggle with email
there's
advertising as it
new
is. And
apps
there's this
coming
layer.
out all the time. It's just, have you heard of Periscope?
Yes, I just heard about that
Jeez, is that
and how
bizarre?
it's
I
they
don't
were
like it.
just streaming a conference, was it PCMA maybe, was just streaming some sessions through Twitter using Periscope.
Yeah,
That's
and
just
basically what it is,
crazy.
it's streaming video via phone. So I could go onto my Periscope right now and start streaming me interviewing you, and my
Huh.
followers would watch me interview you via my phone.
I
It's
gotta
just
check that out. That's just
technology is
cool.
bizarre. So share some more before we come to the end here of anything you got coming up, or any like you got any books or programs or classes or anything you got to share that you want to.
Well, it's kind of it's really specific, but I have a course on udemy.com, udemy.com. You should check it out. It's a very cool platform for instructors on a gazillion different subjects. They've got almost 6 million students who come there and take classes on anything, and I've got a sponsorship course on there. So if you just go on udemy.com and look up sponsorships, I teach anybody who's looking to sell sponsorships from my experience when I was doing event planning and I used to actually own a sponsorship company where I would help others sell for their conference or their nonprofit or whatnot.
And
So it's just,
is that based on like the new technology of the internet, sponsorships via internet?
well, you take the course on the internet, but the sponsorship itself depends on really who your demographic is as to what method you're going to use to reach out to them. So.
Yeah, because there's different sponsorship opportunities for using internet-based stuff now too. It's internet has really shifted the whole way that life is done these days.
I think so, and it will continue to do that as well. So, and then one other thing that I'm working on that's not for profit is called the Empty Suitcase campaign.
Oh,
And it is for any individual or any group that's planning on taking a trip anywhere in the world. Go to emptysuitcase.org and you can figure out what is needed in that destination. And then you just bring an extra suitcase full of whatever that you can bring to people wherever you're headed, because times it feels better to come home with an empty suitcase for a change.
that's a
As
great
opposed to
idea. So you just pack an extra bag, might cost you $70 to put it on the plane, but you could,
depending on your status or whatnot, but man, that $70 goes a long
yeah, you
way.
could fill it full of shoes or T-shirts or whatever. I used to,
Depending, yeah. So we're just right now curating. It's going to be a self-perpetuating kind of site. So if you know of a need in a country that we don't have listed yet, because we haven't even launched it. It launches on Monday. But if you have a need that you know of, you can share that with us, and we'll add it to the website for any city, state, country,
that's
whatever.
very interesting. I would like to talk to you more about that.
Yeah,
I'm going to sign off and let's chat more about that because some of the things we're doing are cause-based advertising.
fantastic.
Cool.
Wonderful.
Okay, well, I appreciate you taking the time. It is morning, isn't it? No,
A
for
little
you.
bit longer, yes.
Yes. So appreciate you taking the time, Shauna. Let's do this again. There's obviously there's a
Thank you. That was
lot of
fun. I
opportunity.
appreciate it.
Okay, peace.
Thanks. Woo.